So very good morning to all. So in our power electronics subject, we are going to start with unit number 3. So unit number 3 is DC to DC converters. Last class we have unit number 2 we have seen controlled rectifier. That's all. AC you can convert it into DC, but the output is not pure DC and output is not so it is not easy for getting variable output. But in this chapter what we are going to see is you have to get input, you have to give DC. So from the fixed DC to variable DC we will do. Okay, so there are some application like you need 5 volt, 12 volt, 24 volts. So from 230 volt which is available from EB, we will convert it into DC, and this fixed DC we will make it to variable DC. So that is what with the unit number 3. Okay, so in unit number 3 we will go with respect to, as per our syllabus, we will go with step down, step up chopper. Then step down is from the input voltage I will come down like a transformer, step down transformer. In step down transformer what you do, input you give a 230 volts, and you with the help of transformer winding on secondary side I can vary my output voltage. So similarly with the help of chopper I can go with step down or step up. Okay, then control strategy, how to I am going to control this step down and step up. That is, you will have a semiconductor device. With that semiconductor device, how you are going to turn on and turn off, that is called control strategy. Okay, then introduction to types of choppers. We will see what is class A, class B, class D and class E. Then comes switch mode regulation, that is called SMPS. You might have heard in your system there is a box called SMPS, that is we call it as switch mode power supply. So the available 230 volt DC will be converted into 12 volt, 5 volt or 24 volts. To do this we have so many types of regulators like buck converter, boost converter, buck boost converter. Sorry, here there should not be comma. This is a buck boost is a single term. Okay, then comes SEPIC, single ended primary coupled converter, then flyback converter. Then we will see some applications of this converter. So that is what with respect to unit number 3. So now let us start with what is called a chopper. So chopper is a static device that converts fixed DC input voltage to variable DC output voltage directly. So when you take as an input as an fixed DC, I can get variable DC. With the help of a single chopper itself I can get the output of 120 volts, 100 volts, 80 volts or 60 volt, 24 volt, like that I can come down, or even I can go up. If the input voltage is 230 volt, I can go for above 230, like 230 to 400 I can go. So the thing you have to remember is law of conservation of energy. Energy being neither created nor destroyed, only transformed. So here when you say step down, voltage will come down and current level will increase. So put together V into I is power. So power remains constant. That is, you have to always remember what this input power you are giving, that will be your output power. So in input power, if V is more and I is less, and we go for step down, what will happen? You will come down in V. If you are come down in V, what will happen to I? I will increase. So put together again V into I is power remains constant. So that you have to be very clear. Don't think if I am stepping up my voltage, I am very clear, I am stepping up the voltage, not the power. Okay, in step down, I am, in case of step down converter, I am stepping down the voltage, thereby current will increase. Or step down converter is also a step up current converter. Okay, both are same. So when you reduce the voltage, current will increase. When you increase the voltage, current will reduce. Thereby product of V into I is always the power remains constant, or even you can say there will be some loss in power, which means output power will be less than the input power. Okay, that is acceptable, because what law of conservation of energy says, energy will be transformed from one form to another. So there is some conversion to heat. So this conversion of heat leads to reduce in output power when compared with input power. Okay, DC equivalent to AC transformer as it behaves on an ideal manner. So when you, in ideally speaking, you say a chopper is like a transformer. So in a transformer, what you do? You do step up or step down of AC voltage. Again, I repeat, the term you should always remember: step down or step down of, step up or step down of DC AC voltage. AC voltage, not power. Power always remains constant, both in case of DC application as well as in AC application. More efficient than AC transformers, because in AC transformer you have more turns, more inductance, more temperature rise, and all that will be there. But here with the help of static devices we are doing. So choppers are slightly more efficient than AC transformer. They offer smooth control, high efficiency, fast response, and regeneration is possible in case of chopper. Chopper can act as a step down or step up. So that is what I have told. It is for a DC step up or step down. That is called chopper. Okay. Chopper can be operated either in continuous or discontinuous current mode. This again a new thing. What is meant by continuous is the output current, if it does not touches zero at all, then you call it as a continuous current. And if the current touches zero, then we call it as discontinuous current. Okay. So in discontinuous current, current will touch zero and then again it will rise. See, here I have a small mistake. Either continuous or again continuous I have put. This is not continuous, this is discontinuous. DIS is missing here, discontinuous current. Okay. Chopper can be built with or without electrical isolation. See, when you take transformer, transformer always go for electrical isolation. Anything on my secondary will not affect my primary, because there is no electric connection between primary and secondary. Only there is a field interlink. Okay. So I give supply to primary side, that generate magnetic field. That magnetic field try to pass through my dielectric medium, and then it comes to the secondary side. Again it is been converted into electrical energy. So there is always a electrical isolation in case of transformer. But in chopper, some choppers are non-isolated type and some choppers are isolated types. That depends upon application we go. Okay. A converter is available named as flyback converter, which is there in your syllabus, and that flyback converter is an isolation type. Then various applications like trolley car, marine host. See, wherever you want a DC application, there you go for choppers. So from fixed DC to variable DC, where and all you want fixed DC to variable DC, you go for chopper. Then principle of operation. So today we will discuss only principle of operation. Okay. So high switching speed on off semiconductor device. So how you are able to get this variable DC is, when you operate a person at a normal speed, then this is not at all possible. So how to make it is operate at very high speed. Very high speed, which is nothing but high switching speed. So high switching speed is nothing but you can get in only voltage control device. So I think you might have studied various types of power electron devices. So starting from diode, then comes your transistor, then comes your thyristor, then comes your SCR, then triac, diac, all that thing. So till triac, diac and all, it is current control device. So you cannot turn off for a person operated in DC, because in DC you will not get current zero. So in that case, that device will not come to off at all. So I cannot use that device. So the device which I can use one in chopper is only voltage control device. A well-known voltage control device is MOSFET and IGBT. By turning on and off time of MOSFET, the average voltage across the load can be varied. Highlight this point. This is very important point. What we say, varying T on and T off time. See, if you are operating at 25 kilohertz, the frequency is kept constant. Then what you do, you just vary T on and T off. So by varying T on and T off, I can vary the average output voltage across the load. So that by that means I am able to get variable DC. Okay, the point you have to remember is varying T on and T off. Then comes the classification of chopper. So depending upon the direction of output current and voltage, choppers are classified into 5 classes. So now we will see what is meant by classification of chopper based upon your output current and voltage direction. So with respect to direction of output current and voltage flow, we classify choppers as class A, class B, class C, class D and class E. Class A, it is one quadrant operation which is only in first quadrant alone. So in first quadrant both voltage and current will be positive. Similarly class B, it is only one quadrant and that is second quadrant. In second quadrant voltage will be negative, current will be in positive. Then class C, it will be operated in both first quadrant and second quadrant. Similarly class D will be operated on third quadrant and fourth quadrant, and class E is a chopper which is operated in all 4 quadrants, which means either your voltage and current can be positive, or any one can be positive, or both can be negative. So that is class E. So based upon the output voltage, whether it is positive voltage or negative voltage or positive current or negative current, we classify choppers into as class A, class B, class C and class D and class E. So these are various classification. Now next, classification of output voltage chopper. See, only on voltage I am speaking. So first one is classification on direction of output current and voltage. Choppers are classified as class A, class B, class C, class D and class E. Whereas based on output voltage alone, choppers are classified into step up, which is nothing but boost converter, step down, which is nothing but a buck converter, buck boost, which is nothing but step up as well as step down is possible. Then comes SEPIC. SEPIC also you can go for step up and step down. Then flyback. Flyback is also step up and step down, but there is a difference between buck boost, SEPIC and flyback. That we will see when we go into that particular type of chopper. Okay, I will take each chopper with the help of MATLAB, so you can even understand what will be the output. So when I do with respect to simulation, then it will be more easily understandable. Okay, so methods of control, that was the second topic in your unit number 3, control strategy. Control strategy is nothing but method of control. So how can we control the chopper or converter? There is 2 types of control. One is called constant frequency control, where frequency is kept constant, and what you are going to change is change the T on and T off. You can increase T on or decrease T on. Okay, but the total time period should be kept constant. I repeat, when you take 25 kilohertz, what is 25 kilohertz? It is 1 with respect to time, when T is equal to 1 by F. So 1 by of 25 kilohertz, so that is the T on plus T off time. So that is called a period, and that time period cannot be changed. Only what you can change T on and T off time. Okay, either you can have more T on and less T off, or you can have less T on and more T off, but T on plus T off put together should be your total time period, and this should not vary. That should be kept constant. So that is the first one, that we call as constant frequency control or pulse width modulation control. In second one, I am not going to vary T on and T off, but I will vary the frequency itself. So if I go for higher frequency, step up is possible. When I come down in frequency, step down I will do. So that is the second type. Okay, so first one I have told in PWM, the pulse width T on of the output waveform is varied keeping chopper frequency, and hence chopper period T is constant. That is what I have told. Frequency is kept constant, so 1 by of frequency is time period. If frequency is not varied, time period will also not vary. So then what I can vary? I can vary only the width of T on. Therefore the output voltage is varied by varying T on time. Okay, the figure shows the output voltage waveform on different T on time. So here I am showing 2 T on and T off. See, you can see here. So this starts from here till this is called T. Okay, so both the figure you can see T on remains T remains constant, so same T here. Okay, what you see on the upper figure and bottom, T remains constant. So what is changing? Only T on and T off is changing. You can see here a small T on with greater T off, here with greater T on and small T off. So by varying T on without varying the time period, we call it as PWM control. I am repeating, in PWM control, T kept constant or F kept constant, both mean same, because F is equal to 1 by T. So if F is constant, always T also will be constant. So T is kept constant, only T on and T off can be varied. You can have either small T on or a little bit more T on. So only with respect to time of T on and T off. Next comes your variable frequency control. In case of variable frequency control, in this method of control, chopping frequency F is varied, keeping either T on or T off in constant. This method is also known as frequency modulation. In frequency modulation, to obtain full output voltage, the range of the frequency has to be varied. On wide range, this method produces harmonics in output, and for large T off load, current may be discontinuous. So since it generates harmonic, we will not go for frequency control. So you can see here T is itself varied. So here you have greater T, which means smaller F, here smaller T, which means higher F, because they are inversely proportional. F is equal to 1 by T. When the T is varied, it will inversely have an effect on F. More T, which means frequency is less. If T is less, then frequency increases. So when you compare between the two, here the frequency is less compared to the frequency here. Here frequency, see, T is reduced, so frequency will increase. Here T is increased, so frequency will come down. Okay, so then let us discuss about principle of operation in detail. A switch is connected in series with the DC voltage source and load. Ideal switch will offer zero resistance, but actually speaking, the switches are made from semiconductor devices. So when you say semiconductor devices, they are semi, which means they are not pure conductors. If they are not pure conductors, then they will have some resistance, because if you are pure conductor, then you can say that your resistance will be negligible. For example, when you take gold, silver or even aluminium, where they are good conductors, so their resistance will be more or less zero or negligible. Whereas when you take semiconductor, even if the switch is on, there will be some amount of resistance offered by the switch, so there will be loss. But now for our simplicity, we take ideal switch, which means it offers zero resistance during on and infinite resistance during off. Okay, so that is what a switch is. Either you close or open. When the switch is closed, R is 0, which means voltage drop across the device is 0 and current is maximum. When you open the switch, voltage across the device is maximum and current is 0. The switch can be turned on and turned off with the help of triggering circuit. That is also we have seen in last unit, various types of triggering circuit and the commutating circuit respectively. It is turned on and turned off as desired at high frequency. So when you want more voltage on output voltage, you go for higher T on. If you want to come down in your voltage, you will reduce your T on and increase your T off. So that is what is told. Based upon the desired, you vary T on and T off. During T on period, chopper is on conduction and the load voltage is equal to source voltage. During off period, chopper is off condition, load current flows through freewheeling diode, which is called FD. As the result, load terminal are short circuited by freewheeling diode FD. Thus load voltage is 0 during T off period. In this manner, chopper DC voltage is produced across the load terminal. So either you supply voltage or you not supply voltage. This is done at very high frequency. So depending upon T on and T off ratio, you will get variable output voltage. At low frequency, if you operate, you will not get any variable voltage. You will get voltage or 0, input voltage or 0. Okay. So from T is equal to T on plus T off equation, it is clear that load voltage depends on two factors: the supply voltage, the duty cycle of the chopper. So you have to be very clear. Output voltage purely depends upon supply voltage. First supply voltage, because if I am giving 230 volt, then if it is a step down chopper, maximum will be 230, minimum will be 0. That you have to be very clear. Okay. So it depends upon supply. Next one is duty cycle. By varying duty cycle, I will come down in my voltage if it is a step down chopper. Since the supply voltage is constant, load voltage is governed by duty cycle of the chopper. Okay. In other words, load voltage depends on two factors, that is T on and T off. Hence, it concludes that average load voltage can be controlled by varying the value of T on and T off in the following two ways. The first way is varying T on and keeping the period T constant. This is called constant frequency system. Variable frequency system, that is keeping either T on constant and varying T off, is keeping T off constant and T on varying. So this is already I have told. One is called PWM, another one is called frequency control. So output equation, V0 is equal to T on divided by T on plus T off into Vs. So which is, I can say it is alpha times Vs. So V0 is alpha times Vs. So output voltage can be alpha times Vs. So you can weigh alpha value will vary from 0 to 0.9. So 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 till 0.9. Okay. So alpha we call it as duty cycle, which is T on by T, where T is equal to T on by T off. So chopper frequency is equal to 1 by T. Therefore efficiency becomes square root of V input square T on by T, or V you can take it outside, V in. So it is square root of T on by T, which is nothing but D. Square D we say it as duty cycle, square root of D. So when you keep at 0.08 square into V in will be your effective RMS output voltage. So the representation of chopper circuit during different phases is shown. So you assume like this: you have a switch, you have a freewheeling diode, you have an inductor and load. I should have an inductor in my circuit because it has to get charge and discharge. So first case like this, that is switch on. So switch on, what will happen? Supply voltage passes through the device, passes through inductor and load. And in second case, I am turning off my freewheeling diode. Okay. So this is case 1, this is case 2. When switch is on, when switch is off. When switch is off, what I have told, the source portion is totally removed. So if source portion is totally removed, what is stored in inductor should be given. That is why I say inductor is required. If the inductor is not there, nothing is to discharge. So only at one time when source is there, you will have at load. If source is not there also, I should have some person to discharge and try to make my voltage remaining either at reduced or it should not go to 0. So what will happen here, you can see here, when switch is there, from switch you can see here clearly, from here switch to inductor to load. So now voltage on my load will be Vs itself. When the switch is off, this what is stored in inductor will discharge. So I try to maintain at least merely less than the source. So that is what you do. So based upon the arrangement of the switch, inductor and freewheeling diode, it will become either boost or buck. That I will explain you. So now you can see it like a black box. When you say who is controlling, only the switch is controlling. Which is the person here is the switch. So you have input voltage, you have output voltage, and the output voltage and output current purely depends upon the action of the switch. So either switch is on or switch is off. So now I clearly explained that in the chopper the output voltage depends upon the switching frequency and T on and T off. Okay, at what frequency you try to switch and how you are going to turn on and turn off. Both the control is possible, that is PWM control as well as your frequency control. But in frequency control there are some issues like harmonic issues that we will deal when we see about frequency control. So with this we will try to complete the first section. So I think now you are little bit clear with what is